You're on. You're on.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Where are all the smiles gone? The weekend and presentations, I know what it feels like. So today I've got this very important topic. And this topic is perhaps it has gone on to become the most powerful tool of communication these days. Okay? And so I've got this 15 minutes with me, and I wish that you guys are very energetic and let's make this very interactive. Alright? Deal?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with a small quiz. And I'm assuming it's going to be a piece of cake for each one of you. Okay. Fast. Answers. LOL?
Laughing loudly.
Laugh out loud. Good. Can you see Gangaram? BRB?
Be right back.
Be right back. ASAP.
As soon as possible.
Good, correct. Next one. Finish
Today.
Today. Last one.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so happy I've got this, cool and trendy, techno-savvy audience with me right now. So we are done here, right? Should I just move?
What's the last one?
Oh, last one means let's get back to my presentation. I just made it up right here. And so, before that, what is texting? I'm sure all of you must be sending text messages. What is texting? Well, I'll make it simple. Texting means sending short messages between cell phones, pagers, and other such handheld devices. That's texting. And also in India, we call texting by the name of SMS. Texting is usually called it's known by the name in European as well as American countries. This is it. Texting is sending short messages between cell phones, pages, etc. In India, we call it as SMS. All of us send SMS, right?
Yes.
Yes. And I love texting. I really do, When sir actually gave me this topic, I was quite skeptical about it. Then I thought about it and I realized how important it has become a part of my life. In fact, there used to be a point of time when I used to recharge my phone for like 26 rupees, I used to have 200 SMS. And this 200 SMS used to be enough for me for the entire month. Now it has come to a point where I recharge for 26 rupees and it hardly lasts for 2 days, this 200 SMS. So I'm sure and an average individual sends around 11 to 12 SMS daily. Right? Don't you? More than that, yes. So everyone loves texting.
Yes.
He loves texting. There's another person there. There's Mr. Bush over there. Texting too on his pager. So the research has proved that these days people prefer texting to talking. That's much easier, right? When we get to know that there's no class today and one of us has a responsibility to tell the news to everyone. What do? We send SMS to everyone. That's more easier than going and speaking with the person conveying the news. So texting, people prefer texting to talking these days. And a little bit of history, we should know something about it. The very first text message was sent in 1992. That's just around how many years back? 1992?
10 years.
12 years. 12 years back. And no one ever imagined how important texting would become a part of our lives, in our social lives, business, crime, what all. Everywhere texting has become a quintessential part of our lives. Text messages were only intended to be 160 characters or less. Do you know what that means? Take out your, I'll tell you. You take your mobile phone, go to menu and go to create message. Okay? You'll see that there's 160. 160. Right? 160. What does that mean? That is the number of characters that you can use in one SMS. So, what happened? When the space is very limited, people started making sentences shorter. They cut the length of the sentences. They started forming abbreviations. They started forming acronyms. And this is why we call it as Short messages. SMS means short messaging service. And it doesn't have any grammar, structure, or framework. And it is constantly modified to suit personal preferences. We learned standard English, our standard grammar from where? Classrooms. Someone taught us. But what about texting? Who taught you texting? We mostly learned it by ourselves, observing others, watching our friends do it, right? So, and we may observe certain things and then we created our own sets of words and we shortened according to our own likes and dislikes. For example, I want to say I love you to someone. To text I love you. I can use ILY, I can use ILU, I can use 143. So it can be constantly modified to suit the preferences of people, right? And now texting has evolved into a language of its own. And this text language that is used for text messaging is known as text speak. Text speak. And over 18.5 billion messages are sent every year. 18.5. So that means the entire world is addicted to texting. Now, because it's much easier, cheaper and faster. We know it's easier, we shorten things, just send. It's cheaper because all these wonderful companies are giving us lots and lots of offers. And it's faster because it just takes around 10 seconds for an SMS to reach another person. And so, look at this and tell me, do you think texting has changed the way we write English?
Yes.
Yes. Texting has changed the way we write English. Munasha?
Yes.
Yes. Well, many people feel the same. But then, my presentation, my actual topic of presentation is to give you reasons why texting will not change the written form of language. Contradictory to what everyone agreed on, I am going to tell you why texting will not affect the written form of English. Texting will not revolutionize the written form of English. This is going to be my topic. Now, fears of the people. Before I give you the reason why texting won't affect the written form of English, I have to give reasons why people fear that it will affect language. What made each of you say that texting will somehow influence the written form of English, right? The fears are, texting will bring about the demise of the standard written form of the English language. It will bring about the demise, death of the form of English language, written form of English language. As you know, texting is a very beautiful, not texting, English is a very beautiful language. It's an art and it takes years of practice and dedication to master this beautiful art of writing in English. But what do we do in texting? We simply cut it short and mutilate it and distort it according to our own likes and dislikes. So people fear that it will eventually bring about a death of the beautiful written form of English. What are the other fears? It will have a negative impact on the vocabulary and spelling of students. Now this is a great debate that is going on in the academic circles. Teachers and the educators across the world are saying that texting, the teenagers and the students using more and more text messages, this is actually affecting their ability to use new words, to use new vocabulary, as well as they are making constant spelling mistakes. For instance, most of us when we write formal or informal letters, we use U, the alphabet U instead of Y or U. It's happening these days. So people fear that the use more and more texting causes people, it weakens their spelling and vocabulary. And it is a threat to the standard written form of English. This is just therefore, because of these two reasons, they fear that on the whole it will bring about it is a threat to the standard written form of English. But then, again very important thing. One of the striking revelations for these teachers and dedications, something that actually substantiated their doubt that texting affected the spellings and vocabulary of children happened when a girl in Australia, she wrote her entire examination paper in text language. Entire examination paper. This made teachers actually doubt more what will happen in the future. More and more people will start using the texting language. This is what she wrote. Can someone read this for me?
For holidays went to meet my brother's girlfriend in New York.
For holidays went to meet my brother's girlfriend in New York. Well, yeah, that is it. So now this is the most important part of the presentation. The reason, I am going to give you reasons to prove that all these fears are unfounded and they are non-existent. The fears are just fears, but we have reason to prove otherwise. Why texting will not change the written form of language, why texting is not a threat to the written form of language. First reason, texting is yet another variety of English. Texting is only a variety of English. For example, in this room, how many students are there? Around 8 of us, 9 of us. And we speak English in different forms. The way we speak, each is a different variety itself. Okay, the way the Indians speak English is not the way the French people speak English, and so on. The same way, when we write English, there are so many varieties of English. The way a person uses English in writing a newspaper is not the same way a person uses it while writing poetry. Or it's not the same way a medical transcriptionist uses the language. So there are different varieties of the written form also. So this texting is not a threat, it is in fact only a variety of English. See, when radio and television came into existence, people started saying that this will put an end to the era of books. But books are still here. Books are in more demand. More and more people are writing books. We read more books. So this is also just a fad. And it won't last, maybe it will last long, but it will not bring a big change in the way English is written. Second, texting is just an evolved, modified form of English. First we say it's just a variety of English. Now I'm saying texting is an evolved or modified form of English. As you know, the English language, it has been evolving for centuries. The way the old Anglo-Saxons used the old English is not the way the Shakespeareans used it. Shakespeare himself added so many words to the vocabulary. And the way Shakespeare used it, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me thy ears and all these things, it's not the way we use English, right? It's not so. English has evolved, and English also has taken up so many loan words from other languages. So English is this very rich language, and it has been evolving for centuries on. And texting is just a part of that evolution. It is the latest form, model of that evolution, texting, because it reflects what the society is. We don't have time, and time is money, so what we do, we send short messages. It's not an alien language. It is just another modified form. Texting is a new code. Something which symbolizes something else. See, codes have been existing in English from the beginning of humanity itself. The early man used to use codes, the hieroglyphics on the walls. And then we have you heard of the Morse code, International Morse code, which uses dots and dashes to convey messages. Then we use codes in business. We use codes in military as well as aviation. Okay? And we use codes among best friends to convey secret messages. So codes have always been existing in English, and texting can be considered as just as another code and not as a threat, something that will impede the development of the English language itself. And texting is a fun, flexible form of English. Well, listen, I wanted one of you to read it, but then it will be difficult for you to see it. I can just explain it for you now. So what it says here is texting is a flexible form of English. So many researchers, like I said, researchers and teachers have been saying that texting will bring what will happen. Texting is influencing the literacy skills of students. Texting is influencing the literacy skills of students, and it is actually influencing their ability to come up with new words. But latest research is showing that texting will in fact help people learn the language better. Because why? The English is quite a complicated language. It has a lot, the grammar structure, the framework is all complicated. And what do we do in texting? We take away all the, the vowels and the prepositions and form a bare minimum framework. So it will be easier for people to pick up the language. So they are saying that texting will not hamper the language, but will in fact, it will help people learn the English language faster because it is easier, doesn't have any complications. Last one, texting does not interfere with the student's vocabulary or spelling. Before I said, one of the fears of the people was if it would interfere, if it would hamper the development of vocabulary and also the spelling of students. But research has proven that the teenagers who do texting, they use bigger words, they use better words, and they are more literate than ever before. So texting has done nothing to actually say that it's a threat to the students. And also in yet another research where a group of 11 to 12-year-olds, half of the students were students who texted regularly, and the other half were students who did not text, 11 to 12-year-olds. So the conclusion of the research, they came to the conclusion that both the groups, the ones who texted and the ones who didn't text, they made the same mistakes in vocabulary, they made the same mistakes in spelling and so on. That shows that texting did not in any way influence the kids. Alright, so far we were discussing, we just generally spoke about what texting is. Then we spoke about why people fear that texting will actually destroy or put an end to the beautiful form of the English language. And then finally we have 5 reasons to say no, this is wrong. All these findings have been wrong because English language it is used by over 400 million people as their first language and over 1,000 billion people as their second language. Nothing will happen to the language as such. And so I want to end this speech giving you a very important piece of advice. Very important, though it may not be even connected to the subject, I have to say it. It's like, don't text while you're driving or crossing the road. Otherwise you'll end up like this. Can you see? But I can still text. Texting addict. This is what happens. Alright, thank you.
Questions?
Questions. Yes.
Well, this is what the research has to say about texting. That won't revolutionize the standard English that's used. But then, what do you think? Don't you have the difficulty in remembering the word or the vocabulary or spelling?
Personal experiences?
Yes.
Personally, if you ask me, I don't think texting has brought about a major change in my vocabulary or learning ability, because I am this person who loves to learn new words, and vocabulary is perhaps learning new words is perhaps one of my biggest hobbies. And texting as such, I guess, maybe, when I type fast, it happens that I replace longer words with shorter ones. But when I write informal messages to someone, when I write formal messages, I make sure that I don't use the text language. And even in classrooms, allowing students to text is not a big issue. But make sure that they don't use that language, the text speak, while writing exams or giving any formal examinations of such sort. Yes?
adding to the question Shivi asked,
Yes.
when we talk about students who have learned texting later in their stage of education,
Yes.
what you said is absolutely true. More than 90% true, of course.
Yes.
But what about children who are growing up with texting? Maybe the first word they learn is from texting with a shorter spelling or wrong spelling or something like that. Do you think there is an effect there?
Yes, in fact. Well, these days, children as young as 4 years, 3 to 4 years, they start texting. The mobile phones have become toys for children, and so they start texting. But there wouldn't be a major problem if they teach the standard form of English in their schools. Because the basics of the language which you and I get are the ones which are taught to us. Even if they use this informal text speak at home and at other places, the caution should be on teaching them in class. Even if they are used to growing up texting, it wouldn't happen if they are given the right guidance when they are in class. Should I?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Someone else?
Right, talking about texting and teaching the right spelling, etc. in class. My generation, texting is out. I mean, it's too late for us to learn about texting.
Yes.
Therefore, it is possible to pass on the correct spelling to you people. But what about the generation that comes after yours? It's going to be people who are texting right from the beginning.
Yes.
And therefore, do you think the school will teach them the correct spelling and the correct way to write? Because if there's no one who actually writes the way that we do now, then where are they going to learn?
But it's very essential that the standards of English be kept at least in the institutions. The basic standards and the framework and the structure of English shouldn't change, and it will not change. Maybe certain new words will be added to our vocabulary, but I guess English will remain as English. And so I guess when they pass on to another generation itself, English won't change. It's just that the way they text and those things will change. I don't know.
Okay, one final question. You said that people nowadays prefer texting to talking.
Yes.
Why do you think this has become the case?
Like I said in the presentation, texting is easier, cheaper, and faster. Let's see. And to elaborate more on that, see, if we want to speak, even in the hostel, in order to speak to the girl living in the adjacent room, we find it very difficult to go outside the room and meet the person, knock on the door and speak with the person. And texting is relatively so much easier to just send an SMS. And like I said, most of these companies are giving us so many offers, and texting is free. To make a phone call, you need to pay money. It doesn't come for free in most occasions. But texting does. You can, if you recharge your mobile for 77 rupees, you get around 10,000 SMS. So it's become a way of life now, and it's faster. Most of the SMS, unless there is a problem with the channel itself, most of the SMS reach the other person within a fraction of a second, or of a minute in fact. So texting is easier, faster and cheaper. Why bother talking to the other person and making things complicated?
Yes, with smileys too.
Yes, and plus we have smileys too, to add more if you want non-verbal communication.
Okay, one final question. You said that 18.5 billion messages are sent every year or every month?
Every month. Every month, sir.
You said every year, but what you had was every month.
Just every month. I'm sorry.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, who would like to go next?